Hello and welcome to a new episode of GEHU Talkies, where we bring you stories, perspectives, and conversations that make you pause and make you rethink about life just a little. I am Passang Dolma, and today we have someone truly special with us. Joining us is Lama Tenzin Choegyal sir, who has been co-founder and chairman of the CED Society. The CED Society is Children's Educational Development Society, which is a non-profit organization working for the rescue of the children of the Himalayas and works to provide a safe, nurturing environment where the children can grow with love. Without any further ado, let's dive into this amazing podcast episode. Hello, sir. Welcome to the set of GEHU Talkies. How do you feel today?
Well, it's first of all, I will say, thank you for to inviting me here, and also with your teams, and a special thank for the founder of this Graffy Hill University, because I know him, and then he put the very strong male and female to grab people like me who can be dig inside. It's not easy to find me, but you guys dig very well. So finally, this is my first interview in India. Usually, it's been 25 years. In U.S., I go everywhere, interview everything. This is the first time. So it's a great honor, and also I accepted because of one of my girls who also study. She's the last year in this journalism course, and I believe for your young generation, they have to come up something reality. So that's why I accepted. Yeah, thank you for the invite me.
We are very honored to have you. As you said, it's your first interview. We are truly honored to have you here.
Thank you.
And so, you are a man who set his foot in one path and somehow founded himself in completely different one. By this, I refer to you as being a monk and then doing something very innately different from the work of a monk. And hence the title of this episode, A Monk by Mistake.
Yes.
Then I must, before we even start anything, I would like to ask you, because I think our audience and I really want to know, why do you refer to yourself as a monk by mistake?
Well, honestly, there's two different ways you can explain this monk by mistake. Sometimes you can say monk by mistake because you did something wrong. And when you say the wrong, they have two different kind of things. One is like accidentally wrong. One is like you did something wrong. And mine is accidentally wrong. Because of I never thought about I'm going to run these organizations, establish the orphanage. Things happen because of when you are spending time your life, in monk life, in the monastery for 11 years, all the time you're reading about the, Buddha teaching. In the Buddha teaching, they all talk about some kind of how you do practice, body, mind, speech, all these things. Then you are totally under the kind of expecting enlightenment or try to make a peace and all this stuff thing, which is, I learned this for the 11 years. But when you accidentally, you get a chance to go to the edge of the Himalaya border, which is I can't go to in China, but at least I can go to the edge of the border of the Tibet. So when I went up there, it changed my life. Because of the changing my life is a two different type. One is a changing life means sometimes people go to the vacations and they say, oh, I was enjoyed so well. I enjoy it and I changed my life. But mine is the place where I went up there, mountains. Before I thought, it's just for the walking. I never thought about how difficult the journey was. And then 25 years ago, there's an area where I went, is the edge of the border of Tibet in India and Nepal. And that edge of border, the area is controlled by the rebels, the Maoists. Oh. And I have no idea what to look like in Maoists. I thought we would just go, they're not bothered for the monk because of I'm a monk. But that's not true. The walking up there is first of all, you have to take it 2 days by bus, to get in the edge of the border. And then after that, you have to walk 14 days if you walk 10 hours per day. And then you have to cross the 18,000 feet one way 3 times. Then you'll be returned 3 times, and then 14 days back. So on this journey, definitely somebody said like Mao was going to come and rob you, which is I thought, no, not big deal. I just went up there. But reality, they got us when we got into 17,000 feet.
Oh.
Because they know exactly when you're walking long days, when you're crossing the 18,000 feet, you don't have the energy to fight with them. You don't have some kind of like a think in your mind how you're going to run. You have to accept whatever they say. So they come and rob us, and they with a gun and with drunk. And I have no idea how much they're going to be robbed. Finally, they rob us, and they took my $500, which I carry some dollars, and some little food. Because they just give a discount for the monk, they're not going to rob everything. But they are not like a kind of robber who come in the middle of the night and rob. They're just front of you, they rob you, and they give you a piece of paper with a handwriting, with a signature by red pen. And they said, take this one. And I say, what should I do with this one? They said, take this receipt. I rob you and take your receipt. And I say, okay, what should I do for receipt? Say, well, if you continue 3 days, maybe you're going to see another gang.
Okay.
Okay? So if they're going to rob you, make sure show your receipt. You already robbed. So this area, they make a policy. They when they're going to rob you, they give you receipt. That's kind of like a very nice. So the next time nobody going to rob you.
Okay.
And then also they give you legal advice. They say, make sure this receipt kept until you finish your tracking.
Aye.
Because before you finish your tracking, maybe you see the army camp. In this army camp, if they're going to see the receipt, they're going to put you in jail because you support the rebel.
Okay.
So I remember I have a long journey, 28 days, no shower.
Oh.
And my shoes, I smell bad. And my shoes are the worst. And I remember I have to keep this receipt under my shoes. So I really want to show the world. I know you do a shopping, you get the receipt. But nobody going to somebody rob you, give you receipt. That's great. So in my coffee table books, page number 45, you can see the rebel receipt. So which is a very big thing change in my life, how you're going to deal with this one.
Okay.
The second thing is dealing with how I change my mind to the we say the Buddhism to the engage.
Okay.
So it turned out when I was no money and no guide. So me and my two brother, my younger brother is our reincarnation. He's the High Lama too. So we spend one of the house there because we know we are monks. They're going to feed us free of cost and if we do puja. So we did this thing. We spent 1 week in this house. And exactly this house, we have 7 days. Within the 7 days, one little girl, like almost she's 7 years old. She's like doing everything. Like morning get up and without have a time to wash her face, take care of the animal, wash, milk, and then she preparing to ready to go up to the mountain to tending the goat and sheep. So, and then she come back in evening. In this evening time, even though she don't have a time to cleaning herself and she do all the animal things. But the thing what I saw, they have a boy, his brother, sitting there doing nothing. And she's doing everything. And I asked her father why he's not helping her sister.
So, is this about what you saw in the upper region of Dolpo?
Yes.
That made you walk on this path? That's why you consider yourself as a monk by mistake?
Yes.
Is that what you mean?
Yes. Yes. And also first thing I don't go to Dolpo. I went to the Mustang.
Mustang.
Mustang is my first place.
Okay, first.
Yes. And then the thing that the ending of this story, the girls which I saw, when I say that, why the boy is not helping, the father said that's not his job.
Oh.
Because of the boy has to become businessman, educated, lead the business, but not a girls. Girls is not a good investment. Since then, I changed my mind. How can I help the girls? So then, the title comes to monk by mistake because of the monks don't do a social work.
I see.
Monks not allowed to for the girls' development. Okay. So then when I changed the mind, that's one of the biggest challenge. So that's why I call this monk by mistake. Yes, I am a monk, but monk by mistake because of this. Dalai Lama always say, the main thing is like, you have to be a very good compassion with the practically, and what you say you have to implement. So that's why how the monks by mistake came up,
Yes,
and
sir.
then, so just still
That's
until
it.
continue going on.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
So, with the whole thing you just said, your experience of how that initially started, you taking a step towards something else rather than just being a monk, was there ever a moment during those time where you regretted or maybe resisted a thought that maybe being a monk, this is not my path? Did you ever think that?
No.
No.
Because when I said a monk by mistake, because I was volunteering, because my younger brother is 4 years old. He was chosen by one of the reincarnation of the High Lama who passed in Tibet.
In Tibet.
And Dalai Lama chose him one of the High Lama reincarnation.
Ah.
So my mother was worried about who's going to take care for him.
Oh.
So after the 8th grade in my school, I decided I want to be volunteer to take care for him. Then I have to go to monastery. But I have no idea. In the monks' monastery, you are not allowed to wear the pant and
Normal
long hair.
clothes.
So they say you have to shave your hair, put the monk dress. So then that's why I decided to say, okay, and because of the I can't give up, somebody need to take care of my brother. So still continuing, I take care for him. And then since when I was in the monastery, the second year they put me in the administration because I was good in English, Hindi, and organized. So there were a lot of monks in monastery. They're from Tibet, so they really don't know to speak the language and coordinating and everything. So that's where I was administration section. So then continue doing my office work and chore and helping other people and continuing my social work.
I
I'm. That's why I asked you in the beginning. Don't ask me question about the religious. I'm not good at this one. Yes, absolutely. I can make something to impress you, but that's not reality.
Yes.
I have to be accepted reality. So that's a reality. The monk by mistake. Yeah. If I really thinking about the monk, still I never had this orphanage
I
because of the we have a very much strict rules in my monastery.
I see.
Once you are become monks, you are totally like in the brain. You have a very strong message for you are not allowed to help any of the girl because they have so much delusion, ignorance, attachment.
Oh.
You're going to be mess up your life.
Okay. Is this one of the things that Buddhism, I don't want to get too religious or spiritual, but is this something that they teach you back there?
Well,
in
I
monastery?
don't know everything.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
not going to say
Yes,
everybody,
sir.
but I say yes for my place, my monastery. Yes, but I don't know everywhere.
Yes.
But it sounds like everywhere because of the Buddha never say anything about this one. We have everything equality. And then when I went to the mountain, I saw they have no equality. Because of the girls, they don't think like, it's a good investment. They think like, other property. So why? They are very strong Buddhists in the Himalaya. So it might be something lack of the information about the reality of the Buddhism. Those people in the mountain, they are so wise, so generous. Whenever you got stuck anywhere, they can help you right away. The main problem is the people who guidance about the Buddhisms.
I see.
They just want to make sure to understand Buddha is not just only teaching, he also implement too. So we have a lack of the implement our any religious.
I see.
So that's the one thing, try to give you more explain about the why I call the mind by mistake.
Hi.
And so some kind of like that.
Yes, sir. We'll get back on this topic again because it's so interesting and you have a lot of things to tell us about. But let me ask you, sir, one thing that I saw when I researched before interviewing, before having this podcast with you. The CED Society is built upon 4 pillars.
Yes.
Spirituality, education, compassion, and giving back. Usually, other such organizations don't have such foundations, right? But so how did the idea of building these four pillars come about for CED? Why only these four things?
Well, if you go back, because of I told you earlier, is accidentally happened in my life. So when I remember to when I in the mountain, when I spend the time, when I see the girl situations, and we decided to my family who donated 40,000 square foot land in Sansadara Road,
Oh.
which is like long time, 25 years ago, and actually that land is a special giving for to build a monastery. Because in our lineage, my brother's a high lama. He must need to build a monastery. Otherwise, his lineage is going to be cut off. So when we saw the situation, we decided we're not going to be care for the building monastery. How about we can donate this land for to build this kid and any orphanage? Because when I say the orphanage, it doesn't mean like all the kids are orphans. Some are the semi-orphans, some are the orphan, some are the family. In the mountain region, the mostly area is a man-dominate.
I see.
So the men dominate, that means something, they have everything law and order controlled by the head of the village. And the head of the village, they have a whole gang, they can do what they want. Like say little 12 years old girls. They can be like a rape, and then after that they can having baby. And those baby, they call nyalu, is like, they have no counting in the community. So once you, without marrying, having a child, they say they are not getting any right in the community. So they always stay in the lower caste. So they have a lot of men can misuse and do what they want to do. So that's the kind of things is not right there. And special, like, I don't know, this is not a really kind of, I don't know, maybe this kind of like, the generation to generation, they have man dominate this mostly in area. So that's why they have ego to, girls is kind of like an object. So they can do whatever they want. So so that's the reason, we established the CED because we don't want to put any kind of like a high lama names. We don't want to put any kind of the names connecting to the religion, culture, and politics.
Okay.
We want to give the names something future, like my girls, when they go outside, people say, hey, this is a CED kid. They don't call like any religion, political, or religion, culture names. So that's why, and then my mostly audience, like my supporter, are the Western. So they can be easy to use the name Children Education Development Society.
I see.
So, so that's where their name came up. But when I put these names, it's like English. But when I write on these Hindi, people always read CID. So in my car, when I put this Hindi CED, then always everybody reading CID. But I say, sorry, no, we are not CID. So just want to make sure you don't need to be fear about. So that's the one thing. So CED is the Children Education. We established 25 years ago. So that's where we have my project, we are putting the name which is comfortable. People who are living there, carry on, or people who work there. So they're not going to see like, say, something I'm going to work in the Buddhist or monastery. So it's like a CED. It's like a very unconditional names.
So from what I understood, from what you said, sir, CED is built on these four pillars: compassion, education, compassion, spirituality, and giving back, because it doesn't want to touch anything political, anything religious, nothing that sort of, right? And I think that's very commendable. And that's why I had said that it is very unusual of any other organizations out there. So I would also like to clarify one thing to our audience, that, pardon me if I'm wrong, sir, the CED is not just an orphanage. Because the children are grown and nurtured with love and care, they are provided all the things that we require for a person to be self-dependent in the future, for the public, for themselves, and people around them, right? And that the children of CED can grow up and then can go back to their families later on and maybe choose their own life, how to live it. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, I say 80%. I have to add it because I just
Yes,
want to
sir.
make sure these are media.
Yes,
So it's
sir.
making very clarifications to understand about the CED society. What we established is because of the. I remember when I went up to the mountains. It's a very hardship journey. So maybe I've been there like 4, 5, 6, 7 times, but I can't go all the times. But I knew if I raise these kids with a professional, have a good bank balance, then they can go back again there. And the second impact, the village. The first time when I rescued there, the school having a 80% boy and 20% girl, because they don't believe in the education for girls. And I show them why not. They can be a leadership. So I sent it back and forward many times, my girls. And then finally, right now, they see it. Oh, girls become beautiful, educated. Why not? So now it's like mostly 80% is girls, 20% is boy. So that's kind of like impact.
Yes.
So, and also, it's a very important to when we talk about the compassions. Yes, everybody, the people who are very good speaker, they also talk about the compassions. But when we do actions, it's a very important, we call the compassion into actions. Because otherwise, if you only talk, that's not going to be enough. Because we have to do actions. So that's why the reason we are definitely we make it very clear to even myself when we enter the CED Society, make sure you are here for the humanity without border. I have a lot of good friends. Some are the officials, some diplomat, and American. They come, they just, whatever they're professional, they can share with the kids, but not through any religion, culture things. Because of I have so many different kids who are the Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Buddhist. So they all live in same. So I don't want to be, they can be separate anything. And the second thing's CED Society, before we establish, I researched many things. How can I run the organization without any politics? Because of the politics they bring from the ego. And ego comes from to very strong financial. So 25 years right now, we never accept any corporate fund. We never get a support financial from the government of India, Nepal, Tibetans. We never accept the money from the local. Because of we want to be a very independent, and we don't want to be anything people, the donor who give a big chunk of money and say, hey, you have to do this one, do this. We don't want to be control anybody. And then also, all the kids, we are vegetarian. So in our the Buddhist, we have a 5 sect. So in all the sect, when we say, there have one word, there are 4 lines, say, Samje Tamje Devada Deve Gyuda Demba Dungada Dunga Gyuda Dunga Maybe Devada Yirin Shatan Devetanyin. It's talk about all the sentient be free from the suffering. And that's a long also other way too. But when you say that, a lot of people, they're confusing they think about they are talking about the compassion to their own community.
Oh.
They're thinking about like something. People who think about all the sentient being, that means including the animals. It's not just only humans. So we just want to make sure why we become vegetarians, my orphanage. Because of when we say that, we have to implement. So one side, you have some kind of you are eating a meat. Like I remember when I was in the monastery, when we have a debate, then somebody say, well, if any animal, chicken, goat, sheep, whatever, whoever they eat it, the High Lama, they say that the animal go to heaven.
Oh.
If the lay people who eat this animal, they are sin. So I said that's not a difference, because they both are humans who eat the animals. And I don't think so that animals go to heaven if the High Lama eat it. Like any spiritual leader eat it. Then maybe you can ask the animal who, before he die, you can ask them, would you like to go to heaven if I go to eat it? Then animal definitely going to say no. He don't want to die. So same thing, it's a very important the Dalai Lama always say you have to eat meat like a medicine.
I.
When you are sick, you eat a medicine. You don't eat a medicine all the time, not for the enjoyment. So it's a very important to, you have to like make something to like what you say, you have to implement. You don't like enjoy to something, you are killing others. Also, you say they're not harming other people. So when you say they're harming, they think, oh, it's only for own people. It's not. It's all the sentient beings. So it's a very important, again, I say, what you say, what you done, you say it. It's not what you means like it's something you can say. They have a lot of the lecture in all over the world. They are very good in lecture, talk about the Buddha teaching, any religion they're talking about. But are you sure you are implement? Or you're telling other people, do this one? So it's important.
So, sir, my next question was already going to be about compassion, but from your answer, I think you already cleared
Action.
it. Yes, sir. Call to action.
Yes.
What you do and what you put forward in the world out there.
Yes.
Kindness and all. Right, sir? So, we talked about how CED's pillars are and it not being an orphanage, but a place, a safe haven for the children to grow. So what were the challenges did you have to face then? Because you said you do not accept any funds or anything from any particular private organization or any people. Then how do you handle the challenges?
Well, definitely the challenging in the financially, legally, and many things criticized. The biggest dealing is not the financial. I'm not going to say financial because of the, I am a good organizer. I know I'm a very good observer. I know exactly how I'm going to bring the money. The thing is like, people, when they criticize, like, for example, I have a lot of kids. When I started, and also my children, I told them, I'm raising you, not just you raise you and make you beautiful and having well educated and getting married and say goodbye. It's not about the point at this one. The point is you're going to be a next Lama Tenzin. You're going to be a next time go back to your village to build a school and hospitals. Because of there are very much lack of these school and then also for the health issue. And also, like, for me, it's very hard to say because sometimes when I say something, but I have to tell you truth. I say many times in the U.S. since 25 years. But this is the first time I've interviewed. I just want to make sure, do you understand the reality is? I remember I have a very big billboard on my orphanage. Which is a 7x14 billboard. The both side, I put the sign, or the one side is the Dalai Lama with the quote, and other side is the Mother Teresa with her quote, which is, I love it, Mother Teresa. So head of my monastery came and told me, your kids are going to the top university, going to the English private school. Are you sure you're not becoming Christians? He looked it up there for the Mother Teresa picture. And he thought I'm doing the Christian missionary.
Okay.
And I told him, listen, people who helping me, they never convert me Christian, and I never convert them Buddhist. We all sit down on the table, and we talk about how we can make a leadership those children. So that's how we're going to be bringing this one. It's not about some kind of religion culture things. So those kind of people who still they believe. When I rescue the girls with disabled, blind, and mute, deaf, and lower caste, my community say you are untouchable monk or bad omni monk. Because that's not a monk job. The monks has to stay in the monastery, do practice, meditation, and I think it's a very important. Everybody has their own role. I'm not saying that, the monks has to do what I do. No, I'm not saying. Everybody has their own role. But if you can't help it, but don't criticize them. So these are the main major thing. If you come today, I have a billboard, new billboard. I put a new picture. The both side Dalai Lama court, and they say if you can't help them, you don't harm them. So this is kind of like if we are in America, 25 years. I do a lecture about the humanity. I don't do a lecture about the religion, culture, and all stuff. I talk about the humanity. I say always to try to becoming good human beings. We are not. We're killing each other, lying each other, doing all this stuff thing for their own benefit. That's not a humans. It's a better like if we are worse than animals.
I think you already justified the first pillar of CED, that is spirituality. But so this question is for me personally, is that how do you differentiate between religion and spirituality then? You are saying that you do not want to entitle the whole team, the whole organization with any political or religious thing. But out in this world, now there are many things that conjoin these two. How would you differentiate that what is spirituality and what is religion? How are they different?
Well, first of all, I'm not going to give you the exactly this answer because I'm not related with this one.
Yes, sir.
If I'm going to work with the religion and this spirituality, definitely I can give you the exactly answer. But from my side, I say that, it doesn't matter like when you say bring the issue about the spirituality and the religion. It doesn't matter whatever you bring it. If you implement, if you do practically, it doesn't matter some doctor, they write the prescriptions of the drugs. We don't call the drugs. It's a poison. But they put a nice tablet with a yellow, pink, and everything. People take it. So it's same kind of like that. It depends on the user. I don't say that what I do is the great. What you do with religion, I'm saying not. When I say that I'm not accepting any religion, culture, or politics, that doesn't mean like, I'm not allowed to invite a religious leader or politic or culture. I invite some of the very good friend of mine, also the holy guy is a Tibetan oracle. I invite for him. He gave a blessing. So great. But people, those three things, when the people come, they misuse these things. So, like, social media is not a bad. It depends on the user. Knife is not a bad. Gun is not a bad. It depends on the people who use it. The same exactly when you ask about the religion and spirituality, like comparing with my thought or whatever you want to know. I'm not going to say exactly this thing is right or not. It depends on the user. So maybe some religious who've been to my orphanage giving a blessing, that's okay. But sometimes they come and give the money, they try to convert. I don't like it. Some political people, they came. I have some U.S. diplomat came. Very simple. I already told him, once you enter the gate, you are service. So even though she's a very, diplomat, she cleaned the window, door, because she know exactly what she need to do. So same thing, those two things, I will give you an easy way to answer.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So in a while ago, you just said that people often refer to you as dirty monk with such titles, right?
Yeah.
And there is a huge misconception in the society that being a monk means complete isolation, avoiding the responsibilities, worldly responsibilities, and just avoiding any materialistic anything that those kind of desires, right? But you, on the other hand, while being a monk, is doing completely opposite of it. Not in the sense of materialistic wealth, but rather having a deep human connection with people. So how do you balance both?
Well, when I could give you answer, it depends on the which location is. I'm in the right place I give you answer. If I'm the religious place, they are going to ready for egg and tomatoes to throw me. Because of the answer what I'm going to give you, exactly once you're becoming a monk, you are detached, not attachment with all the material things.
Detachment.
But it's a totally different. The more the religious leader, if you have no more money, more facilities, they are going to give you good, respect. If sometimes, say for example, I give a very simple is a practically example is my younger brother. My younger brother is a reincarnation chosen by the Dalai Lama. He's the one of the reincarnation of these High Lama in Tibet. But unluckily, we are a very poor family. We came from a very poor family. He is a very well educated, very smart man. But we don't have a background, good financial. Exactly same his age, who has a good financial, not good educated. But he is right now, he's in a very high positions. My brother, he's just living himself right now. Very simple life. So when you say that, yes, absolutely, in our monk life, we are not attachment. But now is you can see more attachment. Okay, so when I started orphanage, I decided, it doesn't matter I'm a monk by mistake, but I have to live a very simple. So in my orphanage, I'm very lucky. Recently, 2 years ago, somebody, the girls which I know, 6 years old, her name is Emily. She's from the United States, and she came to volunteer in my orphanage, and they decided, without knowing me, when I went to Dharamsala, they bought a very nice bed set up in my office. But 23 years, I sleeping in the office floor, and I use the public toilet. And my kids all have their own individual bathroom, attached bathrooms, nice bed, everything. It's not about I don't have money. It's not about it. They are like, I treat them because they deserve this thing. My girls, now as a 31 years old, I have 5 girls. And I have boys, I have between 20 to 30 years old. Honestly, they don't have a serious boyfriend and girlfriend because they don't know exactly how my brother worked hard. Every single penny they spent it, and they knew exactly what their mission is. I'm not saying that they don't allow to having a girlfriend, boyfriend. I would say you are free, but make sure you know how to use it. So all my girls, I say, make sure you're becoming professional. Have a good bank balance, then you can take it serious, your girlfriend, boyfriends. So it's kind of like that. So, this kind of things. Yeah.
Yes, sir. From this exact conversation, I'm really curious to know that all of your children in CED share a particular surname, Gurung. And from my knowledge, Gurung comes from the ancient tribes of Tibet and Nepal.
Yes.
But out of all the possible surnames you could have chosen, why was Gurung the only decided for them?
Well, when I first found it, I don't know about their guru. I saw this like they have the really worst living style, especially the girls. And then when I got them, their paperwork, they say, guru. Then it doesn't matter for me, guru. I have a boy named Karan, I got him like from Prince Chowk, Dehradun. Mother, father passed. He are collecting every morning the garbage with the mom and dad. So mom, dad, they pass away as some Muslim raised him. His name is Karan. He's now, when I got him, he's 8 years old. Now he's 14 years old. He go to English private school. And I have another girl whose name is Aarti. She's from up to the nearby Masuri village. And she came 22 days old, and she is the Aarti. So when you ask the question about why the guru, definitely that's not a chosen one. And again, I say it's accidentally.
Okay.
And I'm really proud themselves they have a name Guru because then at least they have some kind of identity, which is they can, when they become well educated, wherever they go to community, at least they have we mostly go to caste system. At least they have a good caste names. So, and Gurung is an ancient, like in Tibet, we call the Gotung. Gotung means like in the king times, they all are like a god of the honors, like god of the palace. So they are continuing like carry out their lineage. So they call the Gotung, and then slowly becoming like a Guru. And they call it Tamang. Tamang is also one of these. The Tamang means in ancient time, they called it Tamak. Tamak means like a horse and a warrior. And they all are like a Tamak. So now it becomes Tamang. So, everybody, they're changing a little bit slightly their names. So I don't choose this guru anyway. They accidentally came in my life.
I see.
Yeah.
But still, thank you, sir, for giving such a good explanation of that name. You started the CED organization officially since year 2000, right? And you already
2000.
told
Yes.
2000, yes. And you already told us that the kind of experiences you had there. So, but did it ever intervene with your faith and belief, your personal values? Did you ever think that maybe this is not my path to intervene? Maybe so, because in Buddhism, in my knowledge again, they teach suffering is the way of life. You have to suffer in order to live, right? So, why did you try to walk on this path?
Well, my teacher always say, you always, when I told you about earlier,
Hmm.
I went to first time trekking up to the Mustang.
Yes, sir. Yes.
And the Mustang is a very touristy place, and right now it's a very easy way to go and everything. And my teacher always said, choose the harder way. If you pass out the harder way, you never get anything suffering. So I choose the Dolpo because Dolpo is one of the worst and very remote area. We still so I choose them because I really want to show the world, the if you have a very good, strong financial on the organization, you have to go to place something like that. They have so many kids who are living there, and then place where they have like a Mustang, media, all these new things, like a lot of material things. So I always choose the harder way. And then other things, I'm a very much workaholic. I'm a non-stop guy. Like I have a 90-day target in U.S. trip. I go to 45 different house place. So every day, the nighttime I travel, and daytime I have a meeting, and then I come back. That's why in America they call me FedEx Lama because the FedEx is secure, reliable, and faster. That's what I do. So, yes.
Yes, sir. This might sound a bit out of context, but in just the conversations we had, you were telling a bit about your brother. You,
Yes.
could you tell us about him a bit? Because I'm sure the audience must be really curious to know about it.
Yeah. So, just want to make sure I have this experience about when the reincarnation born in your family is a great honor, and very lucky to have him in our life. But reality, I just say make sure to even the Dalai Lama born in the poor family, but he is very high, like His Holiness. But other one like the kid like it's not. I don't know, maybe everywhere, but for me, it has happened on my life. When I raised my little brother, he was a 4 years old, and then I raised him until 18. And then after that, I have to give up because of the my way is engaged Buddhism, and his way is a spiritual Buddhisms, and also raising him. I say that better be not a born in the poor family, because of the since a lot of the politics come in the religious. Really, when the religious they have a politics, you can't point at them. If you point at them, you're against the religious. So that means something like you have to be leave quiet. Better be not say anything, not put a point. You have to just carry on. So I remember to raising my little brother. He is a well educated. He passed out many things, and then finally when they 18 years old, and I'm the only one who take care for him. Actually, his monastery, previous life monastery is Tibet. We can't go to Tibet. So I don't have any assistant. So when I gone somewhere something, always he need assistant. So then finally, that's one time, he's 18. That's all the teenage things, And then we have one nuns who show up in his life because he's smart looking, gorgeous, high lama. And I have a big challenge with this nun to make sure this nun is not going to be involved in my brother life. So finally, in and out, finally, like few years, big mess up for his life. And we decided, me and my sister decided, we have to do something to he can be learn the suffering. Because of in our culture, when you have reincarnations, when you have raising some of the higher Lama, our culture, we treat them like a prince. We have like everything we're taking care for them, like washing the clothes, making food, and everything facilities. Okay, so when they're learning about all the compassion and suffering, enlightenment, when they're becoming graduate, are you sure they learn everything except the suffering? Because they don't have the suffering. They do have the suffering, some their own emotional things, but not the outside suffering. Like that's what Buddha, he walked out in the community, in the people, to learn about the suffering. He enlightenment under tree. So we decided, my sister, how we can help him to learn the suffering. So me and my sister decided, how about we can send him to South Africa? Nobody know him like he's the High Lama.
Oh.
So we just got him visa and passport. We dumped there. And then there, he was living himself. Nobody know he's High Lama. And then he become working in that restaurant. He become homeless. He drink water under the bridge. He joined the gang, become alcoholic. And all this suffering is 7 years in South Africa.
Oh.
And then finally he get back in India. When he get back in India, exactly what we're looking for, what he learned is suffering. So now he's living very simple. And even though he got the suffering, but he can be easy to deal with this one. Any of the High Lama, if you can put him alone somewhere in the city, not in the outside the country, they can manage themselves. Because they used to be living the very luxury life. So in this South Africa, 7 years in South Africa, they teach him to what his suffering is. So today he's living himself without my help. And then, he's his own way, I'm doing my own way. So my main point is, it's becoming a very big politics in the religions. So I say, education is not just only enough. You have to complete what they needed and everything. So same thing like in India, we have a slogan, say, education for girls. It's pretty nice, good. The village, they have a lot of girls who are done the 10th grade. After that, right away they arrange marriage. So then she had to take care of the baby, house chore and everything, and she forget what she learned. And she had to learn. So that's why in the village, most of people, they don't support the girls because of because they say there's other property. But that means if you educate them, we are not getting anything. They are going to the other house. Before they go to other house, they have to learn how to cook, clean, take care of animals and everything. I'm not talking about now generation. Now it's different, but I'm talking about 25 years back. So same thing like that. So if any High Lama born in your family, just want to make sure to, they are totally taking care of them without any, the politics.
External
then,
help.
Then that will make a very big difference. So otherwise, I don't think so. It's a good idea to born in a poor family.
I see. So in this conversation, you used a word, spiritual Buddhism. May I know what is the difference between spiritual Buddhism versus the normal Buddhism that we learn about? Is there anything that makes them different?
Well, I say, beginning, in America, when they ask me this exactly question, I say, reach the second God. Just go to Google. They give you all the answer. Exactly. They give you perfect English. And again, I say, yes, I can say that you're any answer of this one, but that's not the right place to give you answer because of the America, it's a freelance. I can give an answer anything, but through my own community, still they are criticize me.
Okay.
And then I don't want to be, my kids can get anything against for the religion culture. So the best way is I can give you answer what I do. And that's, nobody can challenge me because that's my job, my work. Say, for example, you talking about the, dirty monk. They call me dirty monk because I started the pink pad sanitary pad. And I don't believe this is dirty, but they believe it. I don't care. So when you ask this question about religious between these things,
Yes,
That's
sir.
not a good idea.
We'll move on then.
Yes, absolutely.
You already hinted the answer for the next question, sir.
Yes.
The CED Society has put forward many initiatives. I would name GIFT, GIFT, Pink
Yes.
Paths. Please tell us about them. a
Well,
bit.
and first of all, when I started the CED orphanage, and my main work is to rescue the girls who are abandoned, who are the lower caste, who are family has a lot of children, to rescue those children. That's my first motive. Then after that, when I'm back to again, I saw the girls which I rescue. Her picture is in the pamphlet, and her name is Pema Chodron. When I got her, she was 8 years old. If I know earlier when she born, I will be grabbed right away. But nobody told me about this one because of they believe she's a bad omen. Because when she was 2 years old, she became cerebral palsy.
Okay.
And then father took her to the High Lama because that's what we do in our old culture. We don't go to the hospital. We go to the High Lama to show them what happened. And then High Lama said, oh, the previous life she did something. That's why she got it. She's a bad omen. So father took this little 2 years old baby girls, went back to the home. And then in the village, they have a house like 3 floor. The lowest one is they put the animals. So he think she don't deserve live with the humans, and they're going up and down. It's so complicated. He put this with the animals, without any clothing. And then these little girls living with the animals until 8 years old. And the first time when I saw her, she don't know how to human reactions because she don't know how to smile. She was neck. She was when she was 2 years old, she dragging all the time one side. Her feet and legs become like that. So I thought, in my Buddhist, we don't teach anything about the bad omens. Who made this one? And I don't care because the village people say, oh, don't touch this one or don't take this one. You're going to die within the 1 or 2 years because she's a bad omen. I don't care. I never learned about the bad omens. So I was decided to take these little girls. She's 8 years old. Nobody village people want to help because nobody want to carry these girls because they believe they're going to die.
I see.
But luckily I'm a monk. So in this village, they believe when the monks say any order, you have to follow. If you're not accepted, you're going to hell. I don't know these things. You know, if you accept the order, you go to heaven. I don't know that. We don't have any key of the heaven and hell. But I take advantage. I say, grandfather, you're going to carry this girl. He said, yes, you have no options. So he carried in the basket with the corn shape, put there a little bit like a cow dung and put her because she's the cerebral palsy. We carry 14-day walk across the 18,000 feet 3 times. And when we got in India, I give my best shot like medicals, facilities and everything. Right now she's 21 or 22 years old. She's still in the wheelchair, but she know how to smile, sing and song, read and write.
From
So
this.
what the High Lama say, she's a bad omen. I'm still carrying the bad omen. I never got any problems. So I say, you can't make something, in America, when you are going to be disabled, you live like a prince.
Okay.
Any bus stop, any building, you always in the first. They have a government support very well. So on the other side, they believe she's the bad omen. That's really heartbroken. So, gift come after the Pema Chodron.
Okay.
But since I started this one, then right away they have so many girls who are disabled, blind. They want to come and grab them. But I can't go all the way up there and grab this thing because of it's just very much emotionally because of once you are any kind of, especially the girls, if they're losing one finger, that means you have to pay more dowry.
Okay.
If you have a whole hand, you have to pay more. So always raise up. So that's how the gift started. Gift.
Gift.
Also, Girls Institute for Technology.
Yes, sir. So I would like to again clarify it for the audience to understand it better that CED with these initiative of gift and pink pads
Yes.
encourages women a lot. They encourage them by providing them support in financial way, and educating them financially, making them self-dependent, and also helping them in every way possible so that they can stand as a proud person in society later. So finally, there's one thing that we need to talk about. Um, since this whole journey, you have experienced so much. You have met so many people in different parts of life. You must have learned so many things, and we can see from the way you talk about it. So, what is the one advice you would want to give to the young minds and the future leaders who actually want to make a change in the society but are held back by thinking that I'm only one person? What can I even do? What advice would you give to them?
So that's a hard question to give the advice for the young people, man, because there's an AI world. So I say, from my own experience, just continue your education, whatever you want it, but make sure if you have a wish or you don't want to become like what your mom and dad go through, just say it doesn't matter you believe in God or not, religion or not. It doesn't matter. But don't leave your mom and dad. Or if you live as separate, serve as best you can. Because of I have also a program called the Second Inning Homes. The Second Inning Home is the elderly people, or the young people. I know they are there are so much thing to they learn, but the lacking of the reality of the responsibility is you have to you have to serve your parents. You believe in the very high Baba, holy Baba, but you're forgetting your parents. That's the one thing. And the second thing, whatever you do, first try yourself, or make sure to implement, because it doesn't matter you are professional, whatever you are. Yeah, you have to. You are the young generation is not just making yourself perfect, because like my children. Again, I say I'm not trying to make them beautiful and getting married. I'm just trying to make them to take care of the next futures. They can be also put the same seed, same as like me. So the young generations, they educate. They learn so many things and become well educated, but that's not going only enough. They have to do always in the balance, because of you can do your work, you do your professional, but also take care of your family too.
Yes, sir.
Because they are sacrifice everything like me. I sacrifice everything for my kids. Even though I can be enjoy myself, I have money, I have everything, I can do everything, but not. What is the ending? You have to die. Before you die, what you're going to carry with you? Good karma. And karma, you can't buy it. You can't grab it. You can't do anything. You have to do one-to-one service. So you can do service best for your parents. You can do service to your community. You can do volunteer, do many things without unconditional.
Yes.
So that's a very important. Yep.
Well, so a really, really wisdomful, very insightful talk with you. Let's just wrap this with one question.
Okay.
So, do you believe that this path that you've chosen was your dharma?
Well, depend on the dharma. It's again, if you go in the spiritual life, dharma is kind of like a spiritual, what you do, chanting, believe in the God and everything. Other side, my side, the karma, is like your work, your good work. Karma is depending your, like a karma. Karma, that is one thing, karma journey is. Like other side, if you say yes, I believe in my karma. I don't believe in other karma.
I see. Sir. That's an amazing answer, sir. Okay, and that's how we wrap this episode of GEHU Talkies. I think we can all agree that sometimes life puts us on completely unexpected journeys, either by choice, by fate, or in this case, by mistake. Anyways, a huge thank you to Lama Tenzin Choegyal sir
Thank you
for
so
being a
much.
guest on our podcast and for sharing such insightful experiences, stories, and a fresh perspective on what it truly means to walk on this path of service and compassion. Until we see you next time, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to GEHU Talkies on YouTube. And don't forget to follow us on Instagram. The link is down in the description below. And yeah, stay kind, stay curious, and keep making mistakes. Thank you.
Thank you.